Alright, good day, friends. Today we'll be looking at some basic Excel functions, and I wrote them out so that I can explain them, and then we'll be practicing them. The first on the list is called the sum function. The sum function is used to sum the is used to get the sum of value in a range of cells. I'll be doing that using the second sheet 2. Now, so we want to use the sum function. Mr. Appiah is a salesperson in a company who has 3 weeks sales results here. In week 1 he sold 34, in week 2 he sold 56, and in week 3 he sold 95. So to get the sum of everything, I'm calling up the sum function by saying equal to sum. I open a bracket. The first cell for Mr. Appiah is in column C, row 4, up to, that is the full column. Let me zoom out so that we can see. Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, first, fine. Now I'm redoing it again. Equal to sum. I put an open bracket. The first, where I have the first value for Mr. Appiah, is in C4, and I put a full column. That means from C4 to what? E4. You can see it has highlighted the three values in the 3 columns. So I close it and I press enter. So that is the sum for Mr. Appiah. Now, if I want to get for everyone at once, this small node here, I'll just double click on it. It will give me the sum for everyone. So that is that about the sum function. Now we're talking about the average function. Average is used to get the average value in a range of cells. Going back, so this is sum. So now I want to get the average. Good. I'll just say equal to, I'm typing out the average function. I'll open a bracket. I want to get the average of, same Mr. Appiah, from week 1 to week 3. What is Mr. Appiah's average sales? So I'll say equal to average C4 to E4. Good. Then I close the brackets and I press enter. Good. It's still the same thing as equal to the total sum, which is in F4, divided by 3, which will get the same answer, because we're having week 1, that's 1, week 2, that's 2, week 3, that's 3. You can see whether we do it this way or we do it this way. If you click on this and then we go to the formula bar, this is how that answer was achieved. So I'm deleting this out. So to drop for all, I'll just double click on this node, and that's all. So I've calculated average for everyone. Good. So let me go back to my sheet 1. So now we are looking at the count function. Count is used to count the numeric value in a range of cells. How do I mean? Count is for numeric value. The emphasis here is on the word numeric. So let's use the count function. Excuse me. All right. I want to count how many values are from week 1 through week 3. So I'm starting from C4, which is the beginning, through E10. E10, correct. I want to count the number of cells, the number of values that are there. I will just press enter. You can see it's giving me 21. So I have 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in all, it gave me 21. Now, the next one is saying count A. The difference between count and count A is we use count A when we want to count the value of a range, count the value in a range of cells. This time around, it's not numeric. It's used for alphabet, or let me say strings. So I go here. Now watch. I want to count the total number of names that we have. I will not use count. I will use equal to count A. Then I will say from B4 to B10. Good. And I hit enter. I'm having 7. Now let me now use count equal to count, and let's see the difference from B4 to B10. I hit enter. You can see it's not working, or is returning 0 as the final result. Why is it returning 0? Because I'm counting alphabets and I'm using a wrong function. So when I need to use when I'm going to count alphabet, I'll use count A. But when I'm going to count numbers, I'll only use count. Alright. Now, good. That's that about count A. Now we want to look at count blank. If you have, it says count the blank value in a range of cells. So I go back to my sheet 2. Let me just delete so that we'll have some cells being empty. Good. All right. So now what do you want to use? We want to use the count blank function. So I'll say equal to count blank. Good. Then I put the range of cells. I want to check from C6, good, to what? F8, column F row 8. Can you see? I want it to count for me the total number of blank cells, or the cells that are not carrying any value in here. So I just close it and I press enter. Can you see? It's only returning 1 because this is the only blank cell. From C6 to F8, I'm only having just 1 blank cells. If I increase it, let's say I'm extending it to let me extend it to F10. Okay, up to E10. Good. Okay, let me make it F10. Can you see the selection? In here, we are having 2 blank cells, which is C7 and then D9. C7 and D9. Enter. Can you see? So it's counting the number of blank cells that we have. Now I go back to my sheet 1 again. We are done with count blank. I want to talk about mean. Mean is used to get the minimum value in a range of cells. For example, if you are asked who has the least sales in a particular week, not overall. So we are going back to our sheet 2. Like in week 1 now, if I come in here, I want to see the minimum, the person that sold least, or the value, sorry, not the person, equal to mean. Mean means minimum. So we'll put the range of values, or where we have the value. So I'm starting from C4 up to what? C10. Can you see the highlighted cells? So from that highlighted cell, I want to see the minimum value. So I hit enter. Can you see? It's returning 25. So checking here, checking these values, 25 is definitely the minimum. All right. Good. So I'm now going back. The next one talks about max. Max is the maximum. Oh, who is the best selling person in, or what's our highest sales value, especially in our last week of sales, that is in week 3. So I come in here and I say equal to max. That's the maximum value within this range from F4 to F10. Correct. And I hit my enter. Good. Sorry, from F4. Oh, sorry, I was looking at this other column. I'm supposed to look at column E and not F. So let me change it to column E. So from my E4, good. You can see the way I'm changing it from E4 to E10. Good. So when I press enter, you can see 95 is the maximum for this column. Now, getting 1, very easy. I can just click and hold and drag out. It will show me maximum values for each of the column. So I could say, oh, on the average is 66. Good, that's the maximum. So I can still go back again. This time around, we want to look at the next function, which is today. Now, what is the role of today in your analysis? The role of today is to majorly return the present current date. Now, how does that mean? If I go back and I say I want to know the today's date, and I will just call the function equal to today, then I open and close the brackets. That means that's the function. So if I press enter, can you see today is 7th of June 2023. 7th of June 2023. That's just the way the date format is. It's starting with month, day, and then year. So today's date is 7th of June 2023. All right, let's proceed. We'll be looking at trim. All right, trim is a function that is used to remove unnecessary space in a cell or a text. Now, watch what I want to do. I'm going back. Now, let's assume I'm having up here. Okay, let's say the person that is making the entry is not doing it correctly. You can see space before those names. All right, maybe the person was justing or something is just happening. Good, whatever. Now, good. Now, we want to use the trim function. Normally, we are supposed to clean this data because it's dirty. Dirty in the sense that it's now having spaces before the text. So instead of me doing it one by one, maybe by going back and then pressing backspace till you get there, no, I don't have to go through that stress. It's easier when you have small amounts of data. What if you have up to about 1 million of this? So what will you have to do? Very simple. I'll go to another column. Let me put the name of the function. Good. And I will say equal to trim. Remember we said the role of trim. Let me go to the sheet. Can you see? Trim removes unnecessary space inside a cell or text. So I'm going back again to my sheet 2. We've seen a reminder about definition of trim function. Okay, let me delete this. Good. So equal to trim, can you see? B4. Let me just press only B4 for now. Do you see it? It has fixed that. Now, if I don't want it to do only B4, I'll go back to my formula bar. Then I will now put from B4 to B10. And I press enter. Sorry. From B4, trim B4 to B10, yes. Can you see? It has trimmed it and it has given me the values. Sorry, it has removed all the space based on the role of the trim function. All right, next. We're talking about concatenate or ampersand. Now, this function is used to join 2 or more text items together. So I come here. Now I want to join trim and then week 1. I want to write the person's name and what the person sold. So now let me remove this column I, then I say let me put names so that it will be different. I want to join, so I'll just say equal to concatenate sorry, I wrote concate, okay, Concatenate, yes. All right, I've put concatenate. Where? From where? Trim. Okay, sorry. Now let me use A3. Good. Okay, A4, comma, sorry, comma, and I put space. Then I'm joining in with week 1, which is C4. C4. Good. Then I put a close bracket and I press enter. Now look at that, please. It's now telling me, what it's telling me is that it has merged name column, that is column B, with week 1. That's 34. But then there's still a problem. The names and the value are now closely joined together. So I click on the name. I'll go to my concatenate. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a double quote. Then put a space in between the double quotes. And then press a comma. That will be close to the C4. Good. So now if I press enter again, let's see what happens. Now you have space in between Appiah and 34. Why? Because we have now called up the concatenate function. If you look at the formula bar, you see how I was able to put a space. Concatenate, open bracket. The first cell is in A4. Now after the A4, I put a comma. After the comma, I now put double quotes 2. And I put a space in between the in between the double quotes, excuse me. Then added a comma before I now put the name of the last cell I want to join. Then I close the bracket. So if I now come here and I double click on this small node, can you see? Mayowa is not having any value attached to it. That's why Mayowa is not having any value. If you look at Mayowa in week 1, nothing is showing there. All right, good. So I think that's that about. Okay, that's that about the function. My name is Idowola Jiron from Royal Solutions Technologies. I just want to let you understand what is happening here. Thank you. Please practice and do have a nice day.